Welcome and hello. This is a video tutorial on HEC ResSim, specifically about computation points. And if you're following along in the user's manual, this is in chapter 5 for version 3.3. Okay, so computation points are locations where time series information will be computed. Computation points are automatically added for projects such as reservoirs and diversions, but you may also want to add individual computation points for inflows, gauge locations, control points, and confluences. So that's what I'm going to talk about in today's video is adding individual computation points to a stream alignment. All right, so what we have here is a watershed I've created, and I have watershed setup selected in the module selector. And then for configuration, I'm just using study. And then also we want to be making edits. So go ahead and click that lock icon to be in the edit mode. You can also do edit, view, allow editing, same thing. Let's begin by adding computation points manually. Now, what I'm going to do is actually add a stream alignment first. So click your stream alignment tool and your tools menu on the left. If your tools menu don't look like this, make sure to select watershed setup in the module selector. Hold down control and go ahead and sketch some let go control, final click, and there's my stream. I'm just going to call it stream. All right. So I'm not going to talk too much about the stream. The focus of this video is computation points. So do a single left click on the computation point tool, which is this black dot down here at the bottom of the tools menu, and then a single left click, or sorry, hold down control, and then a single left click on the stream alignment. I'm going to name it CP1, and I'm going to add a couple more. Okay, you can add a description if you want, that's optional. And then CP03, that's good. Yeah, so just make sure to hold down control and then a single left click on your stream, and you'll be good to go there. I also like to sometimes make my text big and bold as you've seen it, which might not be your default. So if you want that bold text or change the color or the look or whatever, go up to View, Layers, and then in Study, right-click, Properties. And these are the different project types, but computation point is right here. So you can change, the color. I went ahead and changed it to a bold by clicking Font and then this bold checkbox. And then Apply, OK. I didn't make any changes, but you might want to do that. There are a few ways you can edit the computation points. For instance, if you right-click on a computation point, you'll get this context menu. And if you don't see this context menu, you got to make sure the computation point icon is selected. So I'm going to right-click on the computation point. You can also rename and delete. We're going to click Edit. This is where most of the editing options are. We see the name, the description, the stream name that the computation point is located on, and then the position of the label, the stream stationing, the northing, and the easting as well. Now, if we don't want this computation point to be on the stream for whatever reason, we can click this snap to stream element checkbox to uncheck it. And then what you notice is the stream name disappeared, the stream stationing disappeared, and then the easting and northing fields became editable. So if I wanted to, say, move it south of the stream, I could just decrease the northing by a certain amount and click apply. And then the computation point just moves off the stream down here. And then I could click OK, and there it is. I don't want my computation point there, so I'm going to demonstrate the delete feature. And poof, it's gone. I'm going to add that back in though, because I actually want it on the stream. And it's back. And let me make sure that it's on the stream. Yes, it is. Okay, great. Next, I'm going to show you how to import computation points into your watershed on a stream alignment from a shapefile. So what we did already was manually draw in the stream and manually add the computation points. But you may have hundreds or thousands of computation points saved in a shapefile. And the best way to do that is just import it. That's what we're going to do now. But before I can import it, what I want to do is export these three computation points into a shapefile, then delete these computation points, and then import them, if that makes sense. So what I'm going to do is first go into my project directory. This watershed is called Video 8. So I go into Video 8. These are the default files and directories associated with the newly created watershed. I could put it in any of these directories. I'm not going to tell you how to organize your files. For me today, I'm just going to create a new directory and just call it demo. So that gives me a place for my shape file for this demo. And then after that, I'm going to go watershed, export, configuration elements. I'm going to click on the computation points checkbox. And then I'm going to come over here to export to shapefile, double click, and then there's a button, there's an ellipse button that appears on the far right. Go ahead and click that, single left click. That opens up a export to computation points save window. And what I want to do is navigate to my watershed. It's already there. And then the directory is demo. So I'm going to double click that. It populates the file path. And all I have to do is type in the file name. I'll call it computation points dot shapefile or dot shp. And let's do it before and after. So it's currently empty. And then if I hit OK, and then OK, successful. Let me go back. And sure enough, there is the shapefile. Great. So we can go back to ResSim, delete those three computation points because the shapefile is already saved. All right. And then to import the computation points on that stream alignment from a shapefile, it's watershed, import, computation points. Now we need to navigate to the shapefile. So click that ellipse button on the far right. And then navigate to our folder. Here's the watershed, here's the demo directory, and then here's the shapefile. Okay. Now by default, the database field name appears as color, and that's not very helpful. There's nothing unique about that. Same with description, not helpful. ID name is the one I've always selected. And what it does is it shows a unique row for each computation point. By default, the import checkbox is checked for all three. So that's great. That's what I want. But if you have hundreds and thousands, there's also a check all, import all, clear all button down here in the bottom. We can confirm that the 3 points are on the correct stream, as well as see what their stationing values are here as well. Everything's checked. I click import, and boom, there they are. 3 computation points were added successfully. So in this video, we talked about adding computation points to our stream alignment in the watershed setup module, both manually as well as importing them using a shapefile. We also talked about exporting the computation points and making some edits. Hope that was helpful.